5 teenage convicts exploding in court. The court is indeed an unpleasant place to be, a place where one hears the most unsound words, and sometimes even witness horrible outbursts from criminals, or even the parties that have been wounded by those criminals. In today's video, we're about to take a look at 5 of the most outbursting reactions, mainly from teenage criminal convicts, on receiving their life sentence. Some of these reactions include a sudden teary meltdown, the criminals lashing out at judges and swearing at them, and sometimes even an emotionless and cold reaction, showing that the criminals don't possess even an ounce of remorse. So sit back and watch as we unfold the reactions of the criminals involved in these vicious and beastly crimes. 1. Michelle Blair. Michelle Blair is a mother who committed a heinous crime by murdering her own 2 children and stuffing their bodies into a freezer. She is facing charges of child abuse and is being held on a $1 million bond. Her case is one of the most disturbing in recent history, as she accused her own children of sexually assaulting her youngest son. She then went on to commit a list of atrocities that resulted in the loss of their lives. Despite her guilty plea, she showed no remorse and made excuses for her actions. The judge revealed that Blair's youngest son witnessed the murder of his siblings, and Blair tried to justify her actions by claiming that one of the murders was unintentional. This is a shocking and devastating case that highlights the importance of protecting children from abuse and neglect. 2. Dick Marple. Meet Dick Marple, the controversial Republican member of the New Hampshire House of Representatives in 2015. While he made headlines for getting pulled over and charged with driving without a license, it was his explosive outburst in court the following year that really got people talking. Some thought his lengthy rant had an underlying purpose. See for yourself if you agree. Though he faced consequences for his actions, Marple's belief in the sovereign citizen movement meant that he left behind a message that continues to reverberate across the country. While he may be gone, his legacy lives on. 3. Marcel Brooks. State Supreme Court Judge William Bowler was left fuming after child abuser Marcel Brooks tried to back out of his guilty plea right before sentencing. Brooks had caused irreversible damage to a toddler he was babysitting by violently shaking them. This was not the first time he had committed such a horrific act. In fact, he had a previous charge for shaking another child. The judge was absolutely livid over what Brooks had done and struggled to hide his anger as he sentenced him to 15 years in prison. The toddler, Devin, is now left with permanent medical issues involving his eyesight, standing, and his left hand. His treatment requires therapy 6 days a week. The case against Brooks was so violent that Devin may never fully recover. Seeing Brooks in court smirking made the child's family deeply angry, as they couldn't fathom how someone could hurt an innocent child so terribly. Brooks showed no remorse and argued with his lawyer, claiming that he was unaware of the consequences and that the baby already had injuries. However, the video evidence clearly showed otherwise. Due to his prior offense and the severity of his crime, Brooks was given the maximum sentence and will never be allowed around children again. One can only hope that the justice system continues to be harsh on those who commit such heinous crimes against innocent children. 4. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett, the name that once brought smiles and cheers to his fans, has now become synonymous with controversy and deception. The man who was known for his acting prowess and singing skills has now added a new skill to his CV, creating a fake hate crime. Imagine walking home at 2 a.m. after grabbing a sandwich from a Subway restaurant, and suddenly, you become a victim of a hate crime. That's what Jussie Smollett claimed happened to him on January 29, 2019. He reported to the Chicago Police Department that he was physically attacked by 2 men who shouted racist and homophobic slurs at him. They even allegedly wrapped a noose around his neck and poured an unknown substance on him. But soon, the truth came to light, and it turned out that it was all a big fat lie. Smollett had created a fake attack and filed a false report. The police department identified and arrested 2 men, but they were soon released as they had been hired by Smollett to fake the attack. The incident sparked a nationwide debate on racism and hate crimes, and people were angry and frustrated that Smollett had fabricated the whole thing. He was charged with 16 felonies, but he managed to avoid jail time. However, Smollett wasn't leaving the courtroom without making a statement for the public. He claimed that he had no intention of harming himself, and that if anything happened to him, it wasn't self-harm. It's easy to imagine what went through the minds of his fans and supporters when they heard about the fake attack. They must have felt betrayed and disappointed by someone they had come to admire and adore. It's never easy to see a hero fall from grace, but one thing is for sure: Jussie Smollett's name will always be associated with controversy and deceit. 5. Blanca Regaldo is above it, not even Karen. Karen's lawyer tried to argue that she should be granted bond so she can be released from jail and prepare for her trial from home. But the judge was not having it. He denied the request, and Karen was left stunned. She knew that her life was now in the hands of the legal system, and there was no escaping the consequences of her actions. As Karen was escorted out of the courtroom, she couldn't help but wonder what would happen next. She had already lost her freedom, her husband, and her reputation. But would she lose her life too? The uncertainty of it all was terrifying. Later that day, Karen found herself sitting alone in her cell, staring at the walls. She thought about what had led her to this point in life, how she had become a prisoner in her own mind, and now in a physical sense as well. She couldn't help but feel a sense of regret and sadness. But amidst all the darkness, Karen found a glimmer of hope. She knew that she had a long road ahead of her, but she was determined to use this experience to change her life for the better. She wanted to use her story to help other women who were suffering from abuse, to let them know that they were not alone, and that there was always a way out. And so, Karen began to work on herself, to learn and grow from her mistakes. She vowed to never let fear control her again, and to always stand up for herself and what she believed in. And in the end, Karen was able to find a sense of peace and purpose in the midst of all the chaos. We hope you found our video informative, but we also understand that it may have been unsettling for some viewers. While the topic of convicts exploding in court may seem like something out of a Hollywood blockbuster, it's important to remember that these incidents have tragic, real-life consequences. We urge all members of society to approach the criminal justice system with the respect and diligence it deserves. From the judges and lawyers to the witnesses and jurors, every individual plays a crucial role in upholding our legal system and ensuring justice is served. We hope that the information we have presented in this video has opened your eyes to the dangers and complexities of the criminal justice system. It is our hope that this newfound awareness will inspire you to become an engaged citizen and work towards positive change in your own community. Thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content in the future. Stay safe, stay curious, and always dare to think outside the box.